Welcome back, everybody, for today's deep dive.
Ooh, it's exciting.
We're heading over to Japan
Okay.
to look at their evolving guidelines for AI in schools.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah, we're going to start by taking just a quick glance
Okay.
at their interim draft from back in 2023,
Hmm.
and then we'll really unpack the full version that just came out this month.
Sound good.
It's a lot to get through. We're going to be talking about how the Japanese government is viewing the role of AI in education,
Mm-hmm.
some specific examples of what they think is appropriate
Okay.
and inappropriate to be using in classrooms.
Interesting.
And get this, the guidelines also apply to teachers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we'll also uncover some interesting findings.
Okay.
Some of their pilot programs they've already run.
Cool. I'm ready. Let's jump in.
All right. So,
Um,
generative AI.
it's incredible, right? The speed at which it's developing.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Not long ago, we were mostly looking at AI that was just text-based.
Right.
And now, oh my goodness, images,
Yeah.
speech, music.
I know, it's mind-blowing.
It really is mind-boggling how fast things are changing.
Absolutely. So, how is Japan reacting to all of this?
Well,
They're known for their technology,
right.
but how are they approaching all this, especially in terms of education?
They're definitely not shying away from AI's potential in education,
Okay.
but there's definitely like a sense of caution too.
I see.
And that July 2023 document
Right.
really highlighted a lot of their concerns.
What were they concerned about specifically?
Well, one of their main concerns was how AI might affect students' creativity
Mm-hmm.
and also, like the actual learning process.
Okay, so how do they think AI could affect learning?
If students become too reliant on AI tools, to like do their creative work for them.
Right.
Like imagine them using AI to generate art or to write stories
Mhm.
without actually using their own imagination.
Okay, yeah.
They worry that could lead to like a lack of originality
Mm-hmm.
and, maybe students won't think as critically about the creative process.
It's like if you always rely on AI to give you the answer,
Yes.
you might stop using your own brain
Exactly.
to solve the problem.
It's all about like balance.
Okay,
It's a tool, right?
So they're not anti-AI,
No, not at all.
but they're approaching it with a very
Cautious.
cautious eye.
Yeah.
And it seems like they've been very deliberate
Yeah.
in how they've done this,
Mm-hmm.
going from that interim guideline to now having this much more comprehensive one.
Yeah, and it took them over a year, right?
Over a year later, yeah.
To really kind of think this through?
They've also been really active on the international stage with this, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Like in discussions on how to govern AI.
Yeah, like the Hiroshima AI process.
Right.
They're very much involved in all the global discussions on AI.
So they want to have a seat at the table
Oh, for sure.
when it comes to
Absolutely.
shaping the ethics of AI.
They want a strong voice in how AI is developed and used.
Okay, so they're definitely not anti-AI.
Nope.
But they're approaching it
Carefully.
carefully.
Thoughtfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to this idea
Yeah.
of AI impacting creativity.
Mm-hmm.
What specifically were they concerned about there?
So there's this concern about over-reliance on AI
Okay.
for creative tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Students might use AI to do things they should be doing themselves.
Right.
And that could lead to less diversity in art and literature.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
if everyone is using the same tools
Yeah.
to create, then everything's going to start to look and sound the same.
Right. Like we don't want a world where everything is just
Exactly.
the same cookie cutter output from
Exactly.
the guy.
Yeah, it's about ensuring that AI tools enhance creativity,
Right.
not replace it.
And that actually gets to the core
Yeah.
of their whole approach to AI, which
Uh-huh.
is this idea of
Human-centered AI.
human-centered AI.
Yes.
So tell me more about that.
Well, it's really about using AI in a way that supports human capabilities
Right.
and not replacing humans altogether.
Humans are still in control.
Always
Yeah.
the final decisions.
Humans make the final decision.
Always rest with humans.
Okay, so if I'm using AI, let's say in my work
Mm-hmm.
or in my studies,
Yeah.
I should remember that it's a tool to enhance
Exactly.
my skills, not to replace
Yeah, it's not about replacing you.
my skills.
It's about making you better.
Got it.
And that leads us to another interesting part of their guidelines.
Okay.
This idea of information utilization ability.
Okay, information utilization ability, what is that?
Basically, it's a set of skills that they think are essential for students
Okay.
to thrive in this new world where AI is everywhere.
So it's like a skill set for navigating this new world
Exactly.
where we have all this AI and all this information.
Exactly. Being able to find information,
Okay.
evaluate it, use it effectively.
So it's not just about being good at using computers.
No, it's much more than that.
It's about being smart about the information that you're...
Exactly. It's about being discerning.
So break down this information utilization ability for me.
Okay, so they've broken it down into 3 kind of core pillars.
3 pillars.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
So first, you've got the knowledge and skills related to technology itself.
Mm-hmm.
So being comfortable with digital tools, understanding how they work.
So that's like the basic...
Yeah, the basic digital literacy.
Okay, got it.
Then there's thinking and expression.
Okay.
Being able to analyze information, form your own opinions, communicate them.
Oh, so it's not just about using the tools.
No.
It's about thinking critically
Exactly.
about what you're seeing,
Critical thinking, communication skills.
which is so important,
super important.
especially now
Especially now.
when we have so much information and misinformation
Right, exactly.
swirling around online.
It can be overwhelming.
All right, so that's 2 pillars.
2 down.
What's the third?
The human element. This is where things like ethics come in. Your attitude towards learning, responsibility in using AI.
Wow, so they're really emphasizing the human side of this?
Absolutely. It's not just about the tech.
It's about the values.
It's about being a good human being in this digital world.
I love that. I love that they've included that.
Yeah, and they're also really concerned about filter bubbles.
Filter bubbles. Now, remind me what that is.
So you know how online platforms tend to
Oh.
show you content that you already agree with?
Oh, yeah. Like they show you stuff they think you're going to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep you on their platform,
Right.
so they show you things that they think will keep you engaged.
It's like you're trapped in an echo chamber.
Exactly. You're only hearing voices that agree with you.
Right.
And so they're trying to teach kids to be more discerning,
Oh, okay.
to question sources, seek out different perspectives.
So break out of that filter bubble.
Exactly. Don't just passively consume whatever pops up on your screen.
Right. You have to actively be involved
Yeah.
in curating what
That's
you're
curating.
seeing.
Yes.
Okay. This is all making a lot of sense. We've laid a really good foundation here.
I think so.
Now I really want to get into the nitty-gritty
Okay, let's do it.
of what this looks like in the classroom.
Yeah, let's talk about the classroom.
I know those 2024 guidelines have some really specific examples
They do.
of what they think is appropriate and not appropriate
They do.
when it comes to AI.
Let's dive into those.
So let's dive into the actual examples.
All right. I think you'll find it pretty interesting.
Let's do it.
Yeah. One area where Japan sees a lot of potential for using AI in the classroom is personalized learning.
Okay.
So you can imagine if a student is really struggling with a particular math concept,
Mm-hmm.
AI could actually step in and provide them with a tailored explanation
Oh, wow.
or give them extra practice problems that are specific to their needs
Like,
and even give them personalized feedback.
yeah, it's really cool. It's almost
It-
like having a personal tutor
That's the idea.
available all the time.
Exactly.
Wow, and this could really free up teachers to focus on other things,
Right.
like maybe facilitating classroom discussions
Mhm.
or working one-on-one with other students.
That's the idea.
Okay, so the AI isn't replacing teachers.
No, not at all.
It's really there as a tool
It's just a tool.
to enhance what they're already doing.
Exactly. The teacher is still the guide,
Right,
the mentor.
the one who's shaping the learning.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Good.
Now, I'm curious about creative applications.
Okay.
Do they see a role for AI in things like brainstorming
Yeah.
or creative writing?
They do. They do.
Yeah.
They encourage using AI as a way to spark imagination, help students explore new ideas.
So almost like a brainstorming partner.
Like a partner, yeah.
Yeah.
So you could imagine AI offering prompts,
Mm-hmm.
maybe suggesting alternative storylines for a story,
Okay.
or even just helping students to overcome writer's block.
So they're not just relying on their
Yeah.
own brains to come up with everything.
Exactly.
They can use the AI
To kind of get the juices flowing.
as a jumping off point.
A springboard.
And then they take those ideas and
And make it their own.
they make them their own.
Yeah, the guidelines are very clear about that.
Okay.
It's not about replacing the student's imagination.
Okay.
It's about giving them a little boost.
So we've talked about what they think is okay to do.
The do's,
What about
the don'ts.
the don'ts?
Yeah,
Are there specific things they say are not appropriate to be using AI for?
definitely.
Okay. Like what?
Well, They really caution against using AI in any way that undermines real learning
Okay.
or critical thinking.
Well, for example.
Like having students rely solely on AI to write an essay
Oh.
or to complete an assignment without putting in any of their own effort.
So it's like taking a shortcut.
It's a shortcut, yeah.
But ultimately, you don't learn anything.
You don't learn, you don't grow.
Right.
It defeats the purpose.
Defeats the whole purpose of education.
Of education, exactly.
Okay, so don't just let the AI do all the work for you.
No, you got to put in the work yourself.
Okay, are there any other don'ts?
Yeah, another important one is using AI in a way that replaces human interaction.
Interesting.
Yeah, so think about those classroom discussions where students share their ideas,
Right.
they debate, they learn from each other.
That's so important.
It's super important.
But
to
this
actually,
makes real learning happens.
maybe in a room with people. Exactly, that back and forth.
And bounce ideas off each other.
You can't get that from an AI.
Right, it's a different kind of learning.
A different kind of learning, yeah.
Okay, so they're really encouraging teachers to think about that,
Right.
to make sure that they're prioritizing that human interaction.
Exactly, prioritize human connection.
And that it's not just about
Don't let the AI take over.
AI taking over the classroom.
Right, it's a tool.
Okay, now I'm curious
Yeah.
about this idea they mentioned of teaching students
Oh, yeah.
about how AI works.
That's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought that was fascinating.
They think that even young students can start to understand some of the basics,
Okay.
not just how to use it,
Right.
but what it is, how it actually works, what it can and can't do.
So kind of like fostering AI literacy.
Yeah, like AI literacy.
That's from a young age.
From a young age, exactly.
I love that.
It's like giving them a glimpse behind the curtain, like
Right.
showing them the magic behind the technology.
Yeah, because AI is becoming so prevalent in our lives
It's everywhere.
that it's important to understand
You need to understand it.
what it is, how it works.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we've talked a lot about the guidelines and what they say about students.
Yeah.
But what about teachers?
Oh, good question.
How are they expecting teachers to adapt to all of this?
Well, they acknowledge that teachers are going to need some support
Okay.
to get comfortable with using AI
Right.
and to develop the skills they need to use it effectively.
So again, it's not about being replaced by AI.
No, it's about empowering teachers,
It's about
giving them new tools.
understanding the AI
Yes,
and working with it
working with it, using it to their advantage
to enhance
their teaching.
Exactly. And
Just
also
create better learning experiences for students.
create better learning experiences.
Yes.
Okay, so have they actually been testing any of this out in real classrooms?
Yes, they've been running some pilot programs.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, in these programs, teachers have been using AI for things like creating different learning materials for different students,
Oh, wow.
automating some of the routine tasks like grading,
Okay.
and they've even been using it to provide more personalized feedback on student writing.
That's cool. So AI is actually helping teachers
So it's helping them work smarter, not harder.
to work smarter, not harder, so that they can
Right.
focus their attention on
On the things that really matter.
individualized instruction. I love that.
And the results have been really promising.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Yeah, they've seen improvements in student engagement
Okay.
and learning outcomes.
And I imagine these pilot programs also helped to inform those 2024 guidelines.
Oh, absolutely.
They got real-world feedback.
They got to see what worked, what didn't work,
Okay.
what challenges came up,
Yeah, so they could really refine
or refine their approach.
their approach based on what they learned.
Exactly.
Okay, this is all super interesting.
It is, isn't it?
We've talked about Japan's overall philosophy,
Mm-hmm.
the specific guidelines,
Yep.
and now even some real-world examples.
Real world examples.
But I want to bring it back to our listener for a second.
Okay.
Why should they care about all of this?
Good question.
What can they take away
What can they take away?
from Japan's approach to AI
Yeah.
in education?
Well, I think one of the biggest takeaways is this idea of information utilization ability.
Okay, so that's relevant for
That's relevant for everyone.
everyone, not just
Students, teachers,
people in Japan.
anyone living in this digital world,
Oh,
being able to evaluate information critically,
mm.
understanding how AI works,
Yeah.
using it ethically.
These are all essential skills.
Essential skills for navigating this world.
It's like a roadmap
Roadmap.
for
Yeah,
thriving in this new world
exactly.
where AI is everywhere.
Everywhere we look.
Okay, so that's one takeaway. What's another one?
Another takeaway is that Japan really emphasizes this balanced partnership
Okay.
between humans and AI.
So it's not about AI taking over.
No, it's about AI and humans working together
Working together.
to achieve common goals.
Okay, I like that.
And in education, that means empowering teachers
Mm-hmm.
to use AI effectively
Thanks.
to make their jobs easier
And ultimately,
to help their students learn better.
help students learn better.
Yeah.
What's the third takeaway?
The third takeaway is all about the importance of learning by doing.
Okay.
So Japan's experience with those pilot program really highlights the value of experimentation.
Right.
Try things out, get feedback, make adjustments.
So it's an ongoing process?
It's an ongoing process, exactly.
Because AI is constantly evolving.
Constantly evolving.
And so our approaches to it
Approaches have to evolve too.
have to evolve as well.
Yeah.
And speaking of ongoing journeys,
Ooh, I like where this is going.
there's one more fascinating aspect of Japan's AI strategy
Okay,
that we haven't talked about yet.
tell me more.
The Leading DX School Project.
The Leading DX School Project, yes.
This is a really cool example
It is. It's a great example.
of how they're actually putting these guidelines into action.
They're walking the walk.
So tell me about it.
Okay, so think of it as a nationwide initiative
Okay.
where they're showcasing all these cutting-edge examples of AI integration
Okay.
in schools all across Japan.
Wow. So it's like a
And it's a show.
showcase for the future of education.
Exactly.
So other schools can see what they're doing
yeah, they can see what's possible.
and hopefully get inspired.
Exactly. It's about inspiring others to explore AI.
I love that.
And they're not just talking about it, they're showing it.
They're showing it.
They're doing it, yeah.
Now, earlier we talked about Japan's concern with filter bubbles
Mm-hmm.
and how important it is to teach students to think critically.
Critical thinking, yeah.
So does this project
It does.
address that?
It does.
Okay. So
So a lot of the schools involved in this project
Okay.
are using AI to actually promote critical thinking and media literacy.
Okay.
So for example,
Mm-hmm.
some schools are using AI-powered tools
Okay.
to help students analyze news articles
That-
from different sources,
Got it.
to identify potential bias,
Right.
to evaluate the credibility of information.
So they're not just using AI to deliver content,
No, they're using it to help students develop the critical thinking skills.
to be more discerning about what they're seeing online.
Exactly. Which is so important in today's world.
I love that. And it's not just about the students.
Right.
They're also empowering teachers
And empowering teachers.
through this project.
Yes, a big part of the project is teacher training,
Okay.
helping teachers feel comfortable using AI
To use AI.
effectively, confidently.
Wow. So it's a really comprehensive,
That's a holistic approach.
holistic approach
Yeah.
to really integrating AI into the education system.
They're not just throwing AI at the problem. They're thinking about all the different aspects.
And they're investing in the teachers.
Investing in teachers, investing in students.
This is amazing.
It's pretty impressive.
I'm so impressed with this project
Me too.
and all the thought that they've put into it.
Yeah, it's really forward-thinking.
All right, so we have covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We've talked about Japan's overall philosophy on AI,
Mm-hmm.
the specifics of their guidelines,
Your do's and don'ts.
the do's and don'ts,
Yeah.
and even this amazing Leading DX School project.
Such a cool project.
But before we go, I want to leave you, our listener,
yeah.
with a question.
Ooh, a question.
If you could design the perfect AI tool for education,
The perfect AI tool.
what would it do?
What would it do?
What problem would it solve?
What problem would it solve?
How would it enhance the learning experience
For both students and teachers.
for both students and teachers?
That's a great question.
Yeah, I want you to really think about that.
I'm going to be thinking about that.
And while you're thinking about it,
Okay.
I highly recommend
Yes.
checking out
Your
the
website.
Leading DX School Project website.
Yes, there's so much good stuff on there.
We'll put a link in the show notes.
You can see real-world examples of AI in action.
Maybe you'll even get some inspiration
Maybe you'll find the answer to that question.
to that perfect AI tool.
Yeah, who knows?
All right, so that's it for this deep dive.
It's been fun.
But our exploration of AI doesn't end here.
Oh no, we're just getting started.
Join us next week as we delve into the world of AI in healthcare.
Ooh, AI in healthcare.
We'll be talking about how AI is transforming everything,
Everything.
from diagnostics
Mm-hmm.
to treatment.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting.
It's going to be fascinating.
Looking forward to.
And we'll also talk about some of the ethical considerations
Yeah, there are a lot of ethical considerations.
that come up when you're talking about AI in healthcare.
For sure.
So it's going to be another thought-provoking episode.
Can't wait.
So we'll see you next time.
Until then.
Keep those minds curious.
Stay curious.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody. So it's a nationwide initiative.
Okay.
And they're showcasing all these cutting-edge examples of how schools are using AI.
So like personalized learning platforms.
Yeah, exactly.
AI-powered assessments, things like that.
Things like that, yeah.
So it's like they're creating a model for other schools to follow.
They're sharing best practices, inspiring other schools to really explore what's possible.
It's a living laboratory.
Yeah, it's like a living laboratory for the future of education.
That's really cool.
And, you know, we were talking earlier about Japan's concerns with filter bubbles.
Right.
And the importance of teaching students to think critically.
Absolutely.
Well, a lot of the schools in leading DX School project are using AI to address that directly.
Oh, interesting.
So they're using AI-powered tools to help students analyze news articles from different sources, identify potential bias, and really evaluate the credibility of the information.
So they're not just using AI to deliver the content.
No, they're using it to help students think critically about the content.
I love that.
It's about developing those essential skills.
To be savvy consumers of information.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in this digital age.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about equipping students with these skills.
Right.
It's also about
supporting teachers.
Supporting the teachers.
Yeah, they're investing heavily in teacher training. Professional development.
So teachers feel confident and competent.
So they're not afraid to use AI
using these tools
in their classrooms.
That's really amazing.
It's a really holistic approach.
It is. It's super impressive.
I'm really impressed by this project.
They too.
They've really thought this through.
Well, this has been fascinating.
It has.
We've learned so much today.
I know. I feel like we've just scratched the surface.
About Japan's approach to AI in education.
Yeah, but we've covered a lot of ground.
We've covered the overall philosophy, those very specific guidelines.
The don'ts.
The do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
And even this incredible Leading DX School project.
It's a game changer.
It really is.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap things up,
I
want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
One final thought.
If you could design the perfect AI tool for education.
Ooh, the perfect AI tool.
What would it be?
What would it look like?
What problem would it solve?
What would it do?
How would it make learning better?
Better for everyone.
For everyone involved, students and teachers.
I love that question.
Really think about that.
I'm going to be thinking about that all day.
And in the meantime,
definitely
check out the Leading DX School Project website.
Yes, do it.
We'll include a link in the show notes.
So many cool examples on there.
You might even get some inspiration.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe you'll come up with the perfect AI tool.
All right, so that's it for today.
That's it for our deep dive on AI in Japan.
We'll be back next week.
We'll be back
with a brand new topic.
A whole new world to explore.
Until then,
keep those minds curious.
Stay curious.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.